The Octagon is a place where anything can happen. Tonight, we turn our attention to the most exciting knockout finishes in UFC history. The biggest kicks, the hardest slams, and the most devastating punches ever in the UFC. So sit back and enjoy this trip down memory lane as the Ultimate Fighting Championship presents Ultimate Knockouts 2. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Ultimate Knockouts 2. I'm your host, Mike Goldberg. Joining me to give his expert opinion on the knockouts we'll witness tonight is our top-ranked light heavyweight contender, Chuck the Iceman Liddell. Chuck, it's great to see you.
How you doing?
How's things going lately? Coming off another knockout victory for you. Satisfying?
Very satisfying. I'm always going out there looking for a knockout. It's the most exciting thing for the fans, I think, and for me.
Well, with your background, and we know that you were a heck of a wrestler at Cal Poly, the kickboxing element, did you kind of evolve into more of a kickboxer and a striker because of your love for the knockout?
Yeah, that's one of the things. I'd done martial arts since I was a kid, and that was always the thing that fascinated me about the sport. And I got into kickboxing, and I always thought that to entertain the fans was one of the big things. What kept bringing me back to different venues. It's exciting for them, and it's exciting for me to knock a guy out.
Well, there's no question he is considered the most dangerous striker in the UFC today. And in the next hour, we'll see some examples of the fight fans' favorite finish, the knockout. Chuck and I will take you back to the early days. First, UFC 2, Pat Smith against Scott Morris. And then a double dose from UFC 3, Remco Pardo against Orlando Waite, followed by Harold Howard against Roland Payne.
It all comes down to this.
Pat is a strong, strong man, even though he just stood there when he came to him. Big takedown there.
Look at this. He's going to break the hold by punching himself out of it.
That's a really tough position for Scott to be in. Really tough. His corner probably throw the towel in on this one. It's over. Whoa. That's intense, folks.
That is intense.
Whoa. That's what it's all about.
And I'll tell you, Robin Morris' strategy was to go right in on Pat Smith. Pat Smith looked at him and say, that's not the right move.
Look how Pat just stands there. Did not even move. Took all he had to give. Gets him down in a mounted position. Got him up high. He has all the leverage in the world.
Why did this style play right into Pat's hands?
It's because he has him in a mounted position. He's a grappler also. Now watch this elbow. It's over with. Elbows are so strong. The heel's the strongest bone in the body. Look how Orlando covers up here. Fights sideways. He's a lesser target to hit.
He's got the whole Holland connection now with Frank Hammaker out of it in his corner. Whoa!
Same takedown that Remco used earlier.
Is it instinct now? Do you care where you are, Ben?
Well, I think he has to get over and get him in a mounted position and try to finish him. He goes for these arm locks. He spends a lot of time doing it.
Orlando, it's hard for me to imagine him being in this position too many times in his straight-up career.
Orlando is so quick and so clever. I think he'll be out of this pretty soon. You'll notice Remco has all of his weight on him and holding onto that elbow. He doesn't want to put all of his weight too far over because Orlando can pull him over his body and then get him in a mounted position. He can just swing him over the top.
So what does Remco have to do?
Remco has to just try to keep the leverage on this side of him.
Again,
maybe a few elbows.
There he goes for the head.
Things. Orlando is one strong man, though.
Is this strength here? Is this strength or is this technique?
This is both. This is both. Strong elbows to the head. He's out.
He's out.
My goodness.
And that's it.
My goodness.
Wow.
How was that? Watch this. Up it goes, boom. And he has the floor
and
underneath him.
Still holding it.
Yes.
The second one did it.
Yes. Watch this. He'll let go, and the towel comes in from the corner. Oh, geez.
Are you ready? Harold Howard.
Get that corner.
Is simply is so reminiscent of John Matuzak, if you ask me. He reminds me of John Matuzak.
He favors him quite a lot.
There's the punch to the head. He's a low kicker, and he goes down. They grapple quick. What a recovery by Payne.
Yeah, he
what a
popped up
recovery.
really quick. Really came up quickly.
The bigger man is on his back right now. Roland Payne is reversed.
That was a great arm escape, elbow escape. You
Suplex.
And
it
over the
didn't work.
top, a double reverse.
Uh-oh.
Those are the shins of steel. They're going right into his ribs. And Payne is down. It still has Rowan Payne out. Look at Payne. He's being the aggressor there. A kick again. That's as many kicks as we've seen in this tournament. Pushing the bigger man back. Howard throws it right, and there's the uppercut. Now Rowan looks like he stays there, and there it is.
Whoa.
Right on the temple.
To see how far this sport has come, it's fun to look back once in a while. Those old fights are awesome.
Yeah, there's some great fights. A couple of them went a little longer than I thought they should have, but you know, exciting fights.
As a fighter, what are your thoughts? I mean, when is too soon? When is too late?
You know, as a fighter, I never want a fight to get stopped early. But you know, some of these fights, you know, guys were obviously out, and I think they got hit 3 or 4 times after they were obviously out, and those fights need to get stopped. Nowadays, you know, they definitely would have gotten stopped. But you know.
Hey, regulations have changed. I think the focus and the learning adjustment of those who run the Ultimate Fighting Championship has come to present day. And of the utmost importance is always fighter safety. With a big John McCarthy in the octagon as the third man, do you always feel safe? Do you always feel things will be stopped at the proper time?
Yeah, the more experience the referees have,
Right.
and he's the most experienced, I think. But the more experience they have, you know, they know when to stop it. They know how long it can go. They know when guys are still protecting themselves. They'll actually tell guys, hey, protect yourself or I'm stopping it, you know, and let them know. And yeah, they stop the turn.
And Renaissance fighters, I mean, Orlando Wait, I mean, you thought he was in a position where he could do something to Pardo.
Yeah, I thought he had his back.
Right,
You know,
right.
all he had to do is hook a leg and start going for something. But you know, nowadays the fighters have evolved. You know, the strikers can wrestle and the wrestlers can strike, and everybody knows jiu-jitsu. It's not, you know, a jiu-jitsu just against a wrestler. You know, wrestlers are able to strike. So you know, someone like, you know, someone's able to strike.
Yeah, there's no question. And that is why this has turned in to be the greatest sport. All right, let's move ahead on the show. UFC 6. And he enters David Tank Abbott, the original Huntington Beach bad boy.
Well, let's get it on. Here we go. Tank Abbott and Matua. Tank quickly takes Matua to the ground. Matua back up. Tank lands a right hand.
Oh.
Matua back to his feet.
Matua's taking some vicious shots to the head.
Tank knocks
that's
Matua
it.
down. And that is all. He hit the ground very hard.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my. His legs are shaking.
Come on in here. You're okay, John. It's okay. You're okay. You're all right, John. You're all right, John.
Oh, my. John Matua hit the ground. His head hit the ground very hard. As you look at the replay, our thoughts are with John Matua right now. Dr. Richard Istergo, Leon Tabbs are in the ring.
David Tank Abbott, as popular a fighter as we have ever seen in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Why does everybody love Tank?
Well, because he comes out to fight. You know, he wants to knock a guy out, and he can win a fight. Anytime he steps in the ring, he's got a chance to win a fight.
Does he have skills other than just his street fighting mentality?
Oh, yeah, he's a skilled fighter. He's got some skill. He trains. You know, it's not like it's not like he just walks out there and does it. But yeah, he's got big power. So that makes him dangerous.
You know, the interesting thing about Tank Abbott is that he says he is the man's fighter because he'll never turn down a fight and he'll never come in and try to be passive, and that's something to respect.
Yeah, definitely. He doesn't care who he fights as long as he's fighting, and that makes him an exciting fighter. He comes out swinging.
Now we're underway. Quick kick by Worsham.
Oh, Worsham got a shot in there.
Worsham landing rights and lefts. Worsham with an uppercut. And he scores with the knee against his bigger opponent. Cal Worsham, they're still on their feet longer than most matches go.
Oh, you're going to have two tired fighters here. They might have punched each other out just in that.
Couple knees to the stomach by Worsham. Blood streaming from Varlins. Worsham lands again with a right hand.
Front headlock by Varlin there. He could have tried to choke a little bit. Not a good leverage position, though.
Now a bit of fatigue steps in after that series of punches. Elbows by Varlins. Worsham lands some punches to the face again. And Varlins is bloody, but down goes
that's going to be it. That's going to be it.
An elbow to the head.
Fast and furious and crazy.
And
I did
Worsham,
not see any disciplines at work. I just saw swinging.
and Worsham, 80 pounds lighter than Varlins, gave a tremendous account of himself.
He almost had it.
Here's another look at it. There's that
There it
big
is.
shot to the head. It was an elbow to the head. And that proved to be the story. The towel was thrown in, but the ref had stopped the fight first. And we are underway. And Fry knocks down Ramirez, and that is it. It's over. Ramirez got knocked into the chain link fence. The bout has been stopped by Big John McCarthy.
He's still out. His eyes are open, but he's not moving. He looks to be all right. They're just keeping him down for safety.
Ray wanted to feel him out. They connected with that first right, and there, bang,
There it
that
is.
was the one that
right
did
there. It was a short right hook.
And that head went right into the fence, and John McCarthy was right there.
It just looks like
And there it is right there.
That was very short.
Knee by Johnston. Another knee by Johnston. Up against the fence.
Johnston very powerful. Oh, and he just whips him to his back.
What a move by Johnston. And he's got him in the mounted position. Big right hand. That's it. It's over quick.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, Brian Johnston, he showed an array of skills at UFC 11.
Yeah, he caught his guy with a little throw,
Yep.
and then then went to work on him on the ground and started and put him away.
But the interesting thing, he looked like he was the worst for wear. What the heck happened? How'd he get hit?
Big John came across to stop the fight and caught him with the bicep across the nose. He was a little upset about that for a little while, but things happen. But I don't think John intended to hurt him.
No, I think if John wanted to hurt him, John would probably use a submission. As a black belt in jiu-jitsu, Big John McCarthy. But it was fun to watch nonetheless. UFC 6 fight, we saw Paul Varlins. Cal Worsham did some good things early on.
Yeah, Worsham was doing good. He's landing a lot of shots, and Paul Varlins, a big guy, big hitter, and caught him with that elbow coming down and dropped him.
Didn't take Don the Predator Fry very long, though. He was really working that right.
Yeah. Don, look, he was standing southpaw. It looked like he was right-handed because all he wanted to throw was those right hands, and he caught that right hook, put him down, and it was over.
All right, moving ahead in our program, how about Mark Kerr as he gets set to take on Greg Stott? That's from UFC 15. Also from that same night, Randy the Natural Couture against Vitor Belfort. Vitor, a phenomenal striker. Mikey Burnett out of the Lion's Den against Eugenio Taddeo. Burnett is a southpaw, so watch for that. And then more Tank Gabbett.
Couture has landed a bunch of punches to the face of Vitor.
Oh, look at this.
Uppercut after uppercut, a plethora of punches.
Oh, and Belfort does look a little dazed. He's going down. He wants to guard now. He wants to guard some knees to the head.
Couture continues to pummel away at Vitor Belfort. He did it standing up, but look out, Vitor is still dangerous.
Without a doubt, Couture needs to stay smart. He doesn't want to get over-aggressive and go for immediate finish. He wants to continue punishing.
And there goes Randy Couture. He's still punching away. Not much defense now by Vitor. That's it.
That's it. Randy Couture has taken out Vitor Belfort.
A stunning upset.
watching a lot of fighting posts on the net. There was only a couple people who thought Couture would win. One of them said he'd win by punching, and people laughed at him. Randy Couture has shocked the mixed martial arts world.
Mark Kerr, pretty devastating knee against Greg Stott.
Yeah, that's you see a wrestler learning a little bit of kickboxing and learning to throw that knee, you know, and shows how devastating knees can be. One strike can end a fight.
Is the key to the knee not just the knee coming up, but pulling your opponent's head down as well?
Well, that helps a lot, yes.
Yeah, it just magnifies the force of the hit, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it also allows you to get in a good position to kick, to hit the head.
Yep, and he did, and he finished the fight quickly. All right, let's go back to that same night. Randy Couture came in, highly touted wrestler. But keep in mind, he was a Greco-Roman champion against Vitor Belfort, who wanted to be a professional boxer. Vitor, a phenomenal striker, jiu-jitsu man from Brazil, but still great hands. And Randy was able to use the dirty boxing technique to kind of change the whole complexion of this fight.
Yeah, he was able to get in and close the distance and keep the fight inside and put a lot of weight and kind of fatigue Vitor, which I think this knockout was as much of a fatigue knockout as it was a knockout.
Matt Lindland has also been able to use the dirty boxing. Again, Matt Lindland, Randy Couture fighters together with that dirty boxing. How tough is it to counter that move?
Well, with great fighters like that, great Greco guys like that makes it a lot harder, you know, especially if you don't want to go to the ground. You know, a fighter needs to keep his distance, you know, keep him off you with some strikes and hurt him early to keep him a little bit worried about coming in, not coming in so hard.
Yeah, and as Bruce Beck said, it was one of the most stunning upsets in UFC history. Couture would go on to continue to be a great champion. UFC 16, we saw Mikey Burnett out of the Lion's Den against Eugenio Taddeo. Of all the guys who came out of the Lion's Den, Mikey was as good a striker as any of them.
Yeah, he was fun. He was another guy fun to watch. Hard to take down too. Yeah. He was good. Had great takedown defense. You know, went 3 rounds of Townsend Saunders, silver medalist in the Olympics, and no takedowns for Townsend.
You know, the thing we saw with Mikey Burnett were a big variety of punches. He used uppercuts, he used hooks, he used crosses. He was pretty complex in his skills, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he just kept bringing it, you know, and he put a lot of pressure on Taddeo, and Taddeo was running out of gas and taking a lot of shots. It was a good stop.
Chuck, is the key as a striker to mix things up like he was able to do?
Yeah, it makes it a lot better. You putting punches together and coming from different angles really helps you land good shots.
Well, the one thing we know about landing shots when it comes to Tank Abbott, he doesn't care if he lands them from the feet or from the mat, because Hugo Duarte took him down earlier, but Tank just came through.
Yeah, he went for that armbar, he missed it, and Tank got behind him and just started throwing those big bombs.
Is it really 600 pounds of force?
I'm not sure, but they looked like there was a lot of force coming from it.
Well, I don't personally want to find out. I don't want you to find out either, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
All right, let's go to UFC 18 now. Boss Rutten, you want to talk about a world-class striker. How about he and TK, Tsuyoshi Kosaka, from UFC 18. And then Vanderlei Silva and Tony Patera from UFC 20. We're moving closer to the modern day knockouts. And then how about a toe-to-toe battle between Pedro Rizzo and TK again, Tsuyoshi Kosaka, UFC 23, as we are continuing on our Ultimate Knockouts 2 presentation.
It's boost. Rizzo's punches look crisp.
I mean, how about the depth of the middleweight and the heavyweight divisions in Ultimate Fighting? I mean, the 4 fighters featured tonight here in Tokyo, Japan, all simply outstanding. All, as we said in the pre-show, working with former UFC champion. The left connects with TK. He's right back to his feet.
Well, that stunned him. There's no doubt. It didn't knock him out, but it definitely stunned him. And
big right.
And that one definitely did it. Wow.
It is over.
Let's look at it again. The right hand over the top, left hook flush. And look at the patience of Rizzo. He didn't just pounce on him. Kosaka back up, but certainly Rizzo got his attention. And as he shoots here, stop, and here it comes.
You know, as I look back at UFC 18, Boss Rutten against Tsuyoshi Kosaka, I remember Kosaka was the very dominant fighter early on, but once Boss was able to push the pace, we saw a big difference. And I mean, TK really controlled Boss for a long time, but I think as we hit that extra session, Boss went into full gear.
Yeah, Boss is a devastating striker. He's got good kicks, good knees, good elbows, good good punches. He's a devastating fighter. So yeah, anytime you're on your feet with him, it's dangerous.
You know, Chuck, it's interesting. And just in our show, we've seen how the strikers have evolved. Multiple weapons, even for Mikey Burnett, but Mikey's legs and kicks weren't as devastating, obviously, as a Boss Rutan's.
Yeah, well, Boss was originally a striker, and he became a very good submission guy too. So, you know, he started to evolve, learning both of those, yeah, he's a tough guy.
And legendary at that. Vanderlei Silva, we know how talented this young kid is. UFC 20, he really took it to Tony Patera. And again, the force of the knee, boom.
Yeah, the shoot box guys, they're known for getting that head tie and kneeing guys and doing a good job of it. And yeah, he showed what they do.
In that regard, Chuck, it looks easy. And obviously we know it's not, but once you have the head, you go with the knees. Is it that easy to get in that position of dominance?
Oh, no, it's not. It's not that easy to you know, you have to be very good at it, and they work on it a lot, you know, and guys know how to counter it, and work on doing that stuff. So yeah, it's not easy.
Hey, Pedro Rizzo, he made it look a little bit easy against TK, and he was really throwing that night, but we have said it before, Pedro sometimes does not engage, and when he does engage, he's as devastating as anyone.
Yeah, Pedro's definitely a dangerous striker, and you know, sometimes it just seems like he's a little bit hesitant to pull the trigger, you know, and I think sometimes that does cost him a fight or two.
I hear the term counter fighter all the time. Describe that to our fans.
Counter fighter is someone who's waiting for someone to come after them and counter whatever they do. And I think he is somewhat of a counter fighter, but you know, I think he would do better to put a little more pressure on.
You don't consider yourself a counter fighter. You like coming in and putting pressure, don't you?
I like putting pressure. I counter fight a lot. I've been accused of counter fighting a little bit sometimes, but you know, I do like to pressure people, and I've been working on that a lot. You know, I think some of the fights I laid back a little bit too much, and I didn't get the knockout I wanted. So to get that knockout, I've been trying to put pressure on people.
Well, certainly, and when Pedro puts pressure on his opponents, the counter-fighting is no longer. The ending is very soon. Yuki Kondo and Dantas from UFC 27. Let's work our way ahead for those highlights. And then how about Fabiano Iha taking on Takasi at UFC 29. Big Semi Schilt, all 6'11" of him, against Lions Den fighter Pete Williams. And then the young prodigy from UFC 32. This one was a great one. BJ Penn against Dean Thomas. Yeah, he wants the knockout.
He
wants the knockout.
Dante's looking at time. He just asked his corner what time it was.
He's looking again.
He's ready to get out of this one.
Backing off. Kondo tried to go high.
Nice kick.
Oh,
he's getting fancy now. Oh, big knee.
It's a knee.
Huge knee.
The knee was big.
Oh, big right hand.
And the fight is over. The fight is over. Yuki Kondo wins.
No, you're not. No, you're not. It's okay. I know.
After that big knee and the big right hand, he was dying. He was pretty much over.
Well, Takasi right now is trying to keep his head as far away from Iha as possible to make himself difficult to hit. But I would work away from the fence. You never want your head pinned up against the fence. You become stationary. Once you're stationary, it's a lot easier to get struck.
Former UFC fighter Valis Ismail in the background, good friend of Fabiano Iha's. Iha formerly in the entourage of the great Royce Gracie in the early UFCs. Now it seems like it's his fight. He works the knees a little bit. The guard is still applied, but Iha's just looking for an opportunity to start teeing off, and he is throwing a barrage of right, and Lefson McCarthy steps in, and this one is over. Wow!
It happened fast, Mike. Right there, when he reaches down to grab the ankle, that was the punch right there that did it. You could see Takasi immediately turn away, and when that happens, that is not defending yourself in an intelligent fashion.
He's and a left just missed. Pete Williams just stuck underneath that big left.
Well, that one arm was choking Pete Williams too.
Oh, nice leg kick. This thing is so long.
Schilt closing in.
Nice
butt kick. He goes down hard. And Schilt got it to the stomach.
He should make him stand up.
Pete Williams.
He should make him stand up.
And he's going to do it.
Oh, that's a bad spot to be in.
He caught his breath down on the bottom. Knocked the wind out of him that time, though. Yeah, there's another one. And Williams tries to shoot again. Oh, big with the knee.
Williams in trouble here. He's been rattled.
Nice.
Now he's absorbing punishment. Watch the knee.
Oh, high kick. Oh, front kick again. And a left jab that connects. Williams trying to get down to the mat. Oh,
he almost unloaded on him.
He almost did. Pete Williams back on his feet. Schilt in control here. First minute, a left that connects. And a front kick. And down goes Williams. And this is over. It's all over. Semi Schilt is victorious. How good was that?
Looking at it here, he's setting him up with the jab, and then there comes right in, and you can see it glanced off the midsection, but it hurt Williams.
Right in the solar plex. You watch that land, boom, right in the solar plex.
And he goes down hard, but he was able to recuperate there, and Schilt took your advice and let him up, and it was the right advice. Williams didn't seem to fully recover, and accurate kicks and punches puts Williams away.
There's the end. Hit him with that left, again to the body, again with the left, just soft.
All of them very accurate. And that's the best kind of thing. We always hear the team that's having the most fun be the team that wins. Well, it's the same with individual sports too.
Check out his leg. He's
Trying to work the leg.
talking about amazing right here.
Look at that.
With his own leg, look at the leverage that he's creating, and he's going to start to work with the strike. That is flexibility. They were talking about that earlier, weren't they?
Absolutely. The flexibility.
Now here comes those
BJ
long
Penn
arms.
eats the
Look at
long
those
arm
long arms.
twice.
I'm
The
telling
left
you.
hand of Dean Thomas. On the way up, he tried to get in with the right. He did not. And now they are on their feet. Good start here.
Very good start. Very good start. Dean's got to work that jab.
Oh, just missed. And he's down. And he's down. And BJ Penn has finished. Dean Thomas. BJ Penn.
Goodness. Talk about a shot. His opportunity opened, and bang, he let it go.
Let's take another look at the finish here. And here comes the knee, bang, and that's flush. And right here, Dean doesn't know where he is, and he follows up with 2-3 punches before John McCarthy says, that's it. No more.
Oh my goodness, that's one thing about having those long arms. When you miss, you miss. So he came in too aggressive. Look, he loaded it. BJ's got too much skill, waited, and Dean just couldn't gather himself, and the knee was waiting right there for him. Take it home.
Speed is a dangerous skill, and it's something hard to train. It's a God-given commodity, and BJ Penn has it.
Youth, speed, power, flexibility. Oh my.
Power displayed appropriately off the knee of BJ Penn.
Now, at the top of the show, Iceman, you said the thing you like about the knockout, it can change the complexion of a fight immediately. Kondo was really down to Dantas in points in that fight from UFC 27.
Yeah, in that last round, Dantas started to get a little tired, and Kondo was still coming and throwing, and he caught him and ended the fight.
And that's the thing, when you have somebody who has striking ability, doesn't matter about points anymore. You push the pace, you end up pulling off an improbable win, if you will. Takasi and Fabiano Iha, and Fabiano showed great skills.
Yeah, he showed good striking from the ground. You know, he was on top, standing up in the guy's guard, just started throwing some bombs away and put him out again.
And a guy in Fabiano Iha, mostly known for his ground skills. All right, what's the tallest competitor you ever fought against?
I don't know, about 6'4".
6'4". All right, how about going against Semi Schilt at 6'11"? That's crazy.
Well, I train with Gan McGee at 6'10",
good point.
all the time. I spar with him all the time, get him ready for fights. So I'm kind of used to it, and I know the problems it causes. It throws you off. Even when I go back to sparring with him, I haven't sparred with him for a while. You know, I come back and you know, he catches me a couple things I think I'm way out of range for, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, okay, I got to adjust my range for him again.
Petey Williams is a very confident fighter out of the Lion's Den, but you could see in his eyes almost immediately he never appeared to be comfortable with that size differential.
Yeah, I don't think he got adjusted to being that longer reach difference, and like I said, that body shot.
Yeah.
You know, he got caught with a body shot, and that's hard to come back from. You know, anything after you get hurt like that to the body, anything that hits the body hurts.
And Chuck, a common misconception in this sport is little guys can't knock guys out. Little guys can pack some power too. BJ Penn has plenty of power.
Oh yeah, well, you know, that speed and explosion is what causes those knockouts.
When you teach a student how to strike, you teach them how to snap, you teach them how to use the whole body going into the limb that you're actually hitting with, don't you?
Yeah, you're not just throwing it with the arms, it's your whole body, it's your hips, and it's developing that snap. It's the hardest thing to get a guy to develop to get that knockout power. BJ
has the snap, and he snapped with the knee. The knees, we've seen that. That's a commonplace. The knees are so dangerous. We've said it over and over.
Yeah, he came in, he threw a punch, set it up, grabbed his head, got that knee, he went down, and then he really came in right away for the finish. You know, got on top and started throwing, so they had to stop the fight.
All right, still ahead on our show, UFC 35, the Russian Andrei Semenov against Ricardo Almeida. And how about this one? I remember Murilo Bustamante coming in at UFC 35 against Dave the Warrior Mene. We thought Mene had the favoring skills for strikes. Is that true? Pedro Hizzo and Andrei Orlovsky tangled at UFC 36. Also, from UFC 37, Rico Suave Rodriguez against the man known as TK, Tsuyoshi Kosaka. And how about the New York badass, Phil Baroni against Amar Suloev? This also from UFC 37.
Maybe a look of comfort in the eyes of Andrei Semenov. Almeida trying to stay busy. Oh, nice big combination, right, left. And he ate one on the way, though. Semenov trying to clamp down with the forearm.
He's got to be careful. Don't extend those arms against Almeida. Going for the armbar. Look out.
Uh-oh. Exactly what you talked about, Jeff. Got a little bit haphazard there.
Now the leg, right to the leg. Knee bar there, attempt. He's got to get his foot. Wait on that foot, get a pressure on his hind end, and pull that leg out. Now he's going for the heel hook. I think he's cleared it. He's cleared it. Nice job.
And back up they come. Outstanding action here.
The crowd started to boo once it hit the ground, and now, just as quickly as it did, they turned their attitude towards this game.
Almeida has taken some punishment.
Nice man. He's done.
Almeida is over. Andrei Semenov. Right has been stopped. Delivers the right hand and reigns victorious.
Check this out. He fakes a jab.
Boom. That's the one that got him the second one.
Big right on the jaw. And then here, check this out from the better angle. Rocks him. Goes down. His arms are limp. Wise stoppage, perfectly called for.
I think Dave needs to pick at Bustamante with this kick. Both the inside kick and the outside kick. That'll help him close that distance and measure him.
Both have outstanding cornermen. Ricardo Laborio in the corner of Murillo. Unbelievable jiu-jitsu. Mene, of course, Matt Hughes, Pat Miletich, and Jeremy Horn in his corner.
Oh, and he catch him there. And they're trying to finish it. And it's all over. Murilo Bustamante is the new middleweight champion.
This guy gets better and better.
He got him, and he finished it just like that.
I was just about to say that Dave was starting to find range, and he stepped right into a nice overhand punch.
Boom.
Right on the chin.
Hit right on the bullseye. You see Mene, he doesn't have it all there. And Murillo lands some shots to the side. And a great stoppage to a great match.
Oh. Murillo went in for the finish, and McCarthy said, it is over. Murilo Bustamante has won the championship.
And the crowd was stomping their feet moments ago. Oh! That is it!
Straight right.
Straight right.
I said it, ladies and gentlemen. Straight right hand. They need to throw the straight right. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you.
Good night.
Need to throw the straight right. Margaret coming out. Checking him out, making sure everything's okay.
Oh, he's got a broken nose.
Straight right and good night to Andrei Orlovsky.
Take a look once again. The straight, oh, there's a left and then the right.
Beautiful.
And it broke the bridge of his nose, or at least cut him, where when he fell, boom. There was blood going into his eye sockets. He's perfectly fine. Right there, he starts wiping his eye.
I'll tell you what, Pedro Rizzo knows what to do. Look at the left and the right. What happened is, I tell you what, the left definitely rocked him, but the right finished the job, sold it, bottom line.
And those forearms are taking their toll on the right side, or the left side rather, of Tsuyoshi Kosaka's face. You know, we spoke of submissions ago. In some organizations, such as Shudo in Japan, submissions, catches as they're called. If you get the arm fully extended or a choke in, just, oh, there's some forearms. If you get a submission closely, it's just as good as a knockdown in boxing.
There's some raining of rights and lefts. Rodriguez, Kosaka trying to defend. McCarthy right on top of the action. Still plenty of time. Can Kosaka intelligently defend himself? Or Rodriguez said it, he does. Rico Rodriguez is 4-0.
Stay right there.
Here we see it one square on the chin. Kosaka continually defending himself, trying to buck him forward, buck him off, but to no avail, as there you see it. And Big John right in on top of the action, stops it. Another look at it. Shot after shot, although he is defending himself in the best interest of the fighter. Big John McCarthy steps in, breaks it up, and we have a winner in Rico Rodriguez.
He is 4-0 inside the octagon.
UFC 35, Chuck, we saw Andre Semenov finish Ricardo Almeida. Did you like that fight?
Yeah, it was a great fight. Those guys are going at it, and you know, it was back and forth, and ended with the great knockouts.
Yeah, and the thing about Semenov is you knew he could pack some power.
Yeah, he's a heavy hitter, and he's so which always makes you dangerous.
How surprised were you by Murilo Bustamante? We heard so much about his ground skills. We knew that Manet, the Warrior, was very good on his feet, but Bustamante showed us some striking skills that we weren't sure that he had possessed.
He's a much improved striker. You know, he's a good ground guy. He's a much improved striker. I think Dave Manet has improved his striking over the years. But you know, they went out there, they're having a good fight, and he got caught.
Everybody wants to train striking. Is it really that much fun to train striking instead of the rest of the game?
Well, it's like anything else. I really like training jiu-jitsu because I've been doing striking all my life.
Good point.
Guys that have been wrestling all their life, hey, it's something new. You know, it's something new to learn, and it's also something you have to learn.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, new toys are always the ones you play with first.
Yep,
that's why those old Christmas gifts get pushed aside next Christmas, because the new toys come out. Pedro Rizzo, hey, his biggest toy is his ability to push the pace and win a fight. When he pushes the pace, he wins fights, and he looked as good as any time in the victory over Andrei Arlovski.
Oh yeah, he came out and he was really, you know, he got comfortable out there. He striking for a couple of rounds and got real comfortable striking, and he was just pushing the pace, put that combination, put a good, nice 1-2 together, and knocked Andrei Arlovski out.
You know, it's funny, Chuck. When you and I watched the fight together, you said one thing with that 1-2 combination. You said technique.
Yeah, I mean, he just came out clean. He's just setting stuff up. He's been setting stuff up the whole fight. Hurt him with that first left, and that right hand came down and put him out good.
Well, Marco Huas had sent a message before that fight to Pedro, his top student. He said, hey, you got to start pushing the pace. You got to start bringing it. He did that night. Rico Rodriguez against Tsuyoshi Kosaka, Chuck, UFC 37. Against Kosaka, it was just ground and pound 101.
Yeah, he's great at that ground and pound. The guys from Tito's camp and train together, and they're good at that. They strike well on the ground, you know, and Rico's a real tough guy to get off of someone once he gets on there.
And they can strike from within the guard. Obviously, the full mount is more advantageous, but we've seen the guys out of that camp and many guys in addition, but Rico strikes from within the guard.
Yeah, they strike from pretty much anywhere on the ground, so they do a good job down there. And also, they both gotten much improved striking on their feet. So
to me, when I see Rico Rodriguez modern day, he looks like he comes right out of the Tito Ortiz mold. You close your eyes and you don't look at the blonde hair or the dark hair. They could be the same guys from time to time. Would you agree?
They got a lot of similarities in their style, but they've been training together for a long time. That tends to happen.
Yes, it does. You don't look forward to fighting Tito at all, do you?
I really look forward to fighting Tito, but.
Light heavyweight belt will be on the line when Chuck Liddell, the #1 light heavyweight contender, takes on Tito Ortiz. But I know we'll contain and we'll hold that for another time.
He told me yesterday, as soon as I get past tomorrow, I want a rematch with Lindland. I will show you the real Phil Baroni this time. I'm for real, I've been training, and I am ready.
He says he's in 10 times better shape than he was in the Lindland fight.
And look at the right.
He's showing the rights now. Raining it down.
He is out.
McCarthy stopped the fight. Phil Baroni is victorious. Big John McCarthy stops the fight. And Baroni has knocked out Amar Suloev.
Here we go, Baroni on top. Very powerful human being. Here he is in the half guard, establishing the position, raining down the heavy hands that he has. Look at the power. The foot is up, driving in. Hammering, hammering.
Great stoppage by McCarthy.
Yeah, he's the best in the business.
The hands dropped and it was all over.
Man, oh man.
Phil Baroni, Amar Suloev, UFC 37. Phil Baroni, you want to talk about a guy who seems to improve. He seems to improve every time he steps in.
Yeah, he's getting better and better. I think he's getting more comfortable with how he's training for the fight. He came out and I think he was losing the fight, you know, to Amar, and then he got him down and got him in the corner and started unloading those bombs. He hits hard.
Hey, the rumor is for Phil Baroni, prior to his last fight, they literally had to lock the gym doors where he trains in Las Vegas to keep him away, to force him to take a day off or two. It's a hungry young man.
Yeah, he wants to fight.
Yep, and I know you love to fight too, and we'll be fighting again in the Ultimate Fighting Championship very soon. UFC 37.5, ruthless Robbie Lawler. Here's an up-and-comer. This kid is only 20 years old. He takes on Steve Berger, and Robbie Lawler can hit. How about from London, and how much fun was London? Mark Weir against Eugene Jackson, UFC 38, and still on Ultimate Knockouts 2, more Phil Baroni as he takes on Dave Manet. Good example of the wide variety of skills utilized here in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, which makes the sport of mixed martial arts so unique. And not only unique to any other sport, but unique to the sport that was advertised in 1993 and dominated by Hoist Gracie. These athletes are so different.
Oh, beautiful right hand!
And you
He's
see
gone!
Roots Robbie Lawler combination, trying to finish the fight. It's over! It's over! You see the skills of Lawler!
Beautiful!
And he is victorious!
Wow, wow. He conserved his energy in that first round, but that second round, he came out guns blazing. Wow. And no one's ever put Steve Berger away like that.
I was just about to say that. You just witnessed history in mixed martial arts as Berger goes down. Check it out. Bam! A right hand right on the chin. And it was downhill from there as he rained him down. Man, look at those. Connecting one after the other. And Big John McCarthy in for the referee stoppage.
That was a leaping right hook, Roy Jones Jr. style. Look at that.
And this time when he had the opportunity, he finished the fight, Joe.
Yeah, and Robbie Lawler stands southpaw too, which is also very confusing for a lot of guys. Most guys, they fight the other way, conventional, with the left hand forward. That right hand forward screws a lot of guys up. Very, very, very dangerous guy.
Right on the button. Then he landed that left hook while Berger was down on the ground. Berger tried to recover here.
That's it.
But the power of Robbie Lawler was just too much.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's rock and roll!
The Wolf and the Wizard meet Jackson in the red trunks, Weir in the black trunks. Oh my, did you see that high kick? And it's over! It is over! Mark Weir knocks out Eugene Jackson in what has to be the quickest knockout in UFC history!
Look at this.
Oh, was the right hand right on the chin. Right on the chin.
And now to UFC 39, Phil Baroni against Dave Manet. And it was apparent the New York badass Baroni wasn't looking for publicity.
Why do you like fighting in UFC?
He was looking for a fight.
Ask me something not retarded like that, bro. Seriously, why does Phil Baroni think you're the best fighter in the UFC, and why do you like to fight in the cage? I don't know, why do you like to sit behind the camera and answer questions? Because I can't sing and dance, and it beats working every day.
Here we go. The night is underway. The former middleweight champion who lost to Bustamante in this building and has not been in the octagon since. Baroni caught him with the right. And it's closing in, trying to finish it. And it's over. And it's all over. Phil Baroni ends it and does it quickly. Oh my! Absolutely amazing.
You see Baroni lands one power shot, stuns him, and he is gone.
He must have got 8 to 10 shots in that flurry that ends the night. For Phil Baroni, who was so intense during his training for this fight that his training partners had to literally lock the gym doors to keep him from overtraining.
Vitor Belfort's most famous moment was his victory over Vanderlei Silva in Brazil when we saw that hand speed. Phil Baroni, at least in that shot from the back, looked like Vitor Belfort with the hand speed he displayed on Dave Manet.
Yeah, I heard his striking was going really well for my friend Nick, One Kick out here in Vegas. And man, he hurt him with that right hand. Another guy with killer instinct. When he got him hurt, he got in front of him and started throwing bombs, and he threw him fast and hard.
We said earlier, speed is a God-given commodity. God gave some speed to Phil Baroni.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of power in his punches. So.
And a lot of motivation, too. UFC 37.5, Robbie Lawler. Oh, I remember that day at the Bellagio like it was yesterday. Fox Sports Net was in town, best damn sports show, period, and Robbie Lawler looked great.
Yeah, he came out swinging, and you see that every time he comes out. He's no caution with that guy.
Do you often see a young man at 20 years old have such an impressive display of skills?
Not often, but yeah, he comes out, he's not afraid to throw. This guy, he's got no fear out there.
In addition to his killer instinct, what do you like most about perhaps his technique or his drive or his training?
I just like the way he fights.
Yeah.
You know, from the first time I saw him fight in Hawaii, I just like the way he goes out there. He goes out there to win and to win big.
A lot like yourself. As he once said, he said, if I were a baseball player, Robbie Lawler said, I'd be a home run hitter. If I were a defensive lineman, I'd want the sack. He loves the quick finish, which is why we're here today talking about quick finishes. UFC 38, quickest finish in UFC history by Mark Weir on Eugene Jackson. But it wasn't the kick that did it, Chuck.
No, it was the right hand. He set it up with the kick. He came after him with the kick. He backed up, dropped his hands a little bit, caught that right hand, and went down.
I think, again, not so much the differential of the Semi-Schilt Pete Williams fight, but Eugene a little uncomfortable because that kick really pushed him back. He's got some long limbs, does Mark Weir.
Yeah, I think he got surprised. He wasn't, you know, you don't see that kind of kick thrown too often in the sport, and it set it up.
Yeah, you know why every trainer in the world says keep your hands up, because the hands came down and the night finished for Eugene Jackson. Phil Baroni, the hand speed he showed against Dave Manet. Is Phil truly a force to be reckoned with inside the octagon?
Oh yeah, he's a strong hitter. Anybody, like I said, anybody can knock a guy out.
For our show, there you have it, 26 of the best knockouts in UFC history. So Iceman, how many knockouts do you plan to have in the next calendar year?
Well, I'm only thinking about one right now, but we'll see after that happens.
Will it finish as a knockout?
That's what I'm planning on.
All right, great to have you. Always a pleasure to talk to you. One of the classiest guys in the sport. Chuck the Iceman Liddell will be featured in the next calendar year. For all of us here at the Ultimate Fighting Championship, we want to thank you, the loyal fan of the UFC, for joining us tonight. We hope you enjoyed Ultimate Knockouts too, and rest assured that over the next year, the UFC will continue to bring you the knockout action that you crave. For Chuck Liddell, I'm Mike Goldberg. It's the Ultimate Fighting Championship, as real as it gets.
The Ultimate Fighting Championship is totally new, and that includes the UFC's official website. www.ufc.tv is your new official source for the latest in the world of mixed martial arts and its premier event, the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Log on now to check out a comprehensive photo and video clip library from past events, complete fighter profiles of all your favorite UFC stars, and the latest from the all-new line of official Ultimate Fighting Championship merchandise, including hats, t-shirts, and shorts for both men and women. Plus, autograph cards, posters, digital trading cards, home videos, and DVDs. So log on now to the .1 event and #1 website in mixed martial arts, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, at www.ufc.tv.